Hey, what's up, La Familia? You crazy football-loving nutters. This is Ray Hudson, and you are luxuriating in listening to the Inter Miami podcast with the stupefyingly magnificent Jay and Alex. Two lads who are as electrifying as a hairdryer thrown into a hot tub. Stay tuned, because you know what it's going to be. It's going to be magisterial with an amplifier.
The cross goes He's done it again. Taylor swings it for Victor Ulloa. It's one up. Ulloa and Taylor. Job done for Inter Miami. Landed in by Morte. What? 6. It's 2 for Miami. Damian Lowell doubles the lead. Sometimes you can just sense something wicked this way it comes.
Knocking on the door, man. Here we are again in another crucial situation where 3 points means so much more. It's going to be a fun finish to July. Just race to the finish of July. Hoping for the best. Hoping that come August 1st, we're sitting above that playoff line.
I mean, you hit the nail on the head. It's going to be an awesome finish to this month. We're going to be going up against some stiff competition here, and this is going to prove our mettle, going into the end of the month, going into the All-Star break here soon. It's going to really show what this club has, and I really hope the league knows that this team won't lay down. We proved it against Minnesota, proved it against Charlotte. Every team has to be mindful of us going forward. It's an awesome feeling though to finally see the team coming together and have some more of these wins like we did.
Yeah, I mean, and we get a true test against last year's MLS Cup winners. Talking none other than NYCFC. If we lose, man, I'll tell you what, I'm not going to overreact because, there was plenty of overreaction around the club on all forms of social media. Everyone needs to just chill the hell out and relax a little bit, especially in a friendly man. But welcome, everyone, to the Inter Miami podcast. I am Jay Kington, joined by, as always, Mr. Than Harrington. How goes it? What's up? Anything new in your world?
Nah, buddy, it's actually kind of feeling like Florida up here. We've had 95, 96 every day. I am sweating my face off. It's not
hotter,
enjoyable,
honestly.
Riley actually had his practice canceled. It's kind of just been everybody lay low. Glad that there's going to be some football on TV this weekend because I ain't doing a thing.
Yeah, well, you'll be the one. I'll have to watch this game on replay. I'm gonna be full transparency. Probably gonna watch the first half with the Green Lot gang in the parking lot of Camping World Stadium in Orlando. Why would I travel to the horrible, forsaken city of Orlando? And I'm not talking about just from a Orlando City standpoint. I just genuinely don't like the city. It's one of the most confusing places I've ever been. Traffic's always a nightmare, but really looking forward to seeing Chelsea v Arsenal. And you know what? I'm going to just jump on it right now. I don't want to hear anything from you about the penalty shootout with Charlotte, okay? We don't even have our defense. So that's all changing. So it'll be a great birthday for me on Saturday, man. But you'll have to hold it down, heavy spectating in the second half, and then I'll catch that second half when I get back home because I record every Inter Miami game because I love the pain.
Listen, I'm not going to have to give you any smack talk about that Chelsea-Orlando game because at least you're not Everton.
Yeah. So
Up
that's something we can all agree.
Baby.
We can all agree on that one.
Dude, I actually was following, and not to go off on a side note here, but I was following the Everton social media pages last night, and it was just pain post after pain post after pain post. And one of the top comments was, "Welcome back to the USA. It's the same as it was in 1776."
Oh man, I saw someone say that. Said it's called soccer now. There's nothing you can do about it.
Yeah, but I mean, it's all right. You guys are coming over here. We're going over and playing, teams over in Bangkok. So I mean, it is what it is. I won't rag on you too much.
And like, the kind of the I guess, funniest part, maybe not if you're an Everton fan, but Adrian Heath, who coaches Minnesota United, played for Everton, like 226 appearances, 71 goals. He's definitely like, there's some Adrian Heath memorabilia in, I can't remember what the stadium's called. What is their Goodison Park? It's Goodison Park. I'm sure Adrian Heath is decorated somewhere in the annals of Goodison Park.
I mean, I'm kind of surprised you don't remember the premier stadium in Liverpool. I mean, it is arguably the best stadium in that area of England. And I got to give a shout out to the Minnesota United Twitter group there. They're always like, win, lose, or draw. They're always on top of it. I just saw a tweet a little while ago. It said, "Yo, Everton, you good?" Question mark. I was like, all right. So yeah, but this is not the Minnesota podcast, though. This is the Inter Miami podcast, Jay. Let's get back on track.
Well, outside of our little fun friendly, let's get into the exciting part, man. We're wanted to get this episode out a little earlier, but let's just bring it back so everyone just can remember this amazing Saturday night delayed game yet again. But boy, was it worth it. And I feel bad to the people that left early. I feel bad for the people that left at halftime and went home for this one, because another Inter Miami podcast late game winner. This one actually in stoppage time, but buddy, the energy here was electric. We did come out on top, beating Charlotte 3-2. Also, I don't know why we probably didn't mention this a little bit earlier, but one of the most exciting things going on is we got to play with our new toy. And Alejandro Pozuelo finally came out there. What a difference he made. A man comes out in sticky, muggy South Florida summer weather, rocking a long sleeve Under Armour. Well, I don't know who there might not be Under Armour, Nike, whatever, Adidas probably, since they run all of MLS, but long sleeves in the summertime, man. Bold move, Cotton. What'd you think?
I saw that. I was like, I'm not going to give him much past halftime until that thing's tore off, if not sooner. I mean, it makes as much sense as Phil wearing a full suit on the sidelines for a home game.
Yeah, can be
I mean, I know we're gonna touch base on it, but I was very happy with this first game. Would like to have seen him bag a goal, but filthy footwork. Yeah. Absolutely filthy. I'm here for it. Give me all the techers in a game. I'm here for it.
And you can explain the goals in a little bit more depth, but man, after that they scored in 26 seconds. Like, that's not an MLS record. I think someone has it like sub 10 or something, or like 12 or 13 seconds maybe. But they did that. Obviously, everyone's a little deflated, right? That's not how you want to start a game. Like, we didn't. It was so fast, and my thought was just like, I looked over at Pozuelo and I was just like, welcome to Miami, bud. Like, welcome to Miami.
So I flipped the game on, and Riley's sitting next to me on the couch, and he's playing his Switch. And I'm like, buddy, all right, put your Switch away. We're going to watch the game. And that's right when the ball went in the back of the net. And he just looks up at me and he goes, bruh, I'm not about it. Now, if you're not a dad to get brud by your 7-year-old, it first off, that just... It hurt me. It rocked me to my soul. Yeah. But even he was like, yeah, no, I'm not going to watch this, because he knows that we're a late second half team. So we're going
to get a bruh on the soundboard.
Bruh.
Yep. So came out, been 4-4. What am I talking about? 4-3-3 team, but there's got to have to be some changes here. Some rotation to kind of see where we can best utilize the I don't want to say new squad, but the team we have now, specifically with Pozuelo, and then eventually at some point, I mean, it's got to come soon, right? It's going to be Coco Jean coming on, and there'll be some tinkering, but decide to come out in a 4-2-3-1, pretty standard lineup. Calendar, McVay as left back, Sailor Low, Yedlin on the right back, and then Mota more in a CDM role with Pozuelo and Gregory in midfield, and then you had Indy and Robbie Taylor on the wings with Campana on the middle. So pretty standard stuff here. I mean, nothing really struck out to me except our boy Pozuelo. Anything stick out to you here?
Yeah, Mota at the CDM. I mean, I know it's not anything new, but I had a bad feeling. And I know it's easy to sit here and say, minute goal, like, man, I don't know. Like, I'd rather have Gregory back there. And my sneaking suspicions about him having a poor game came to fruition, man.
Yeah, well, I mean, like, sorry, I guess let's be fair. I mean, yeah, he did play in a little bit more of a CDM. I mean, I guess you could technically say like with the 4-2, right? It's Gregory and Mota doing the pivot action, but yeah, it's slightly different than what we've asked of him. But hey, I'm sure he wasn't too upset about it because that just puts him, just a few yards deeper. So instead of the 30-yard ripper, it's going to be a 35-yard ripper. So I'm sure he's fine with that. He's gonna make one of those one of these days here. But walk us through the goals. They came quick and they came fast.
Yeah, so opening first minute, as we already touched on, Mota turned over the ball in the defensive third, and it was like a beer league turnover. Like he just kind of turned and had it just taken right off his foot. Mm-hmm. Reyna was found streaking in the box. He went right between Sailor and Yedlin. Ball was slotted past Drake to the right. 1-0 before anybody really had ass in seat in the stadium. It was
classic through ball, through ball. No one, gosh, yeah. You knew it was coming before he kicked it,
Yeah, if you have watched this game long enough and you're able to analyze the movements on the field, you saw it and you're like, uh-oh. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, that, again, I feel bad applauding the opponents, but Reyna, have yourself a night. He had himself a night.
Yeah.
It was, yeah.
Go ahead with the golazo here, man, because that's there's been a few goals scored in this season where you just have to sit back and appreciate it. Like you're not mad, you're just like, damn. Like you can't cheer because it's enter till we die, but in the inside you hear a little damn, that was nice.
Yeah, and you know what makes this a little bit easier for us is this ended up being the MLS goal of the week. Reyna was picked up from a switch of play from the right-hand side to the left, and he made a beautiful touch. I'm not sure why DeAndre didn't come all the way up and close him down. He stopped halfway between him and Drake and just kind of tucked and turned. Again, I'm not going to try and tell a U.S. men's national team defender how to do his job, but I did pick that out as a what are you doing? And Reyna put a beautiful curler into the upper corner past the outstretched hands of Drake. If you need to have anybody who's learning the game of football watch a curled goal, that was something David Beckham probably would have applauded. I got to be honest. That was chef's kiss.
And I'm pretty sure you already knew that was going in once it left his foot. I mean, you saw him run away to start to celebrate. It was
He had the Stephen Curry turn, when Curry releases the three, and then he just turned that was it. And I was like, oh no, Drake, you're in trouble, dude.
It was fun.
But in kind, we had filth of our own to discuss.
We did.
Before we get into it, do you want to go to the first half?
Yes, we can do that. But we'll also touch on, there were some nice adjustments made at halftime. This was a little bit frustrating. A little bit would be, honestly, pretty much a lie, because this was a game that we dominated, not only in the first half, but also throughout the second half. I mean, this was probably, honestly, the best game we put together, all things considered, outside of going down so early and then going down 2-0 in the first half here. I mean, over 58% possession in the first half. We were on top of, we had better stats. And there was 2 areas out of, we're talking, 20 different statistical categories here. And there were only 2 areas where Charlotte was better than us, and that was successful dribbles, percentage of successful dribbles. They had 57, and we had 50%. And then percentage of duels won. They had 53.6% to our 46.6%. 0.4. We are just absolutely on top of them as far as total passes, accurate passes, passing accuracy, passes in the opposition half. We played a lot of this game in the final, in Charlotte's half, rather. I mean, you just go down here. It's really impressive. Just, I mean, final third passing accuracy, total dribbles, duels, aerial duels. I mean, it was just an amazingly impressive performance by this team in the first half, for sure. Phil goes to the locker room. Basically, asked him in the postgame, like, specifically, what did you say? And he's like, put the ball in the back of the net. That's really all you can do. Like, we're playing so well. We're creating our chances. There were a lot of really almost goal moments in the first half. And they didn't get deflated. I think they had that confidence and knew that they, have been playing so well, they could still come out and at least, steal a point. But go ahead and get into it, man, because what an exciting win. I mean, one of the most exciting games for sure that I've been to.
Yeah, so like as you already touched on, the adjustments were made, and the team almost had like a breath of, I don't know, renewed vigor put into their souls here. Robbie Taylor embodied it. On a throw in, Robbie Taylor was found on the right-hand side in the 59th minute. And man, I'll tell you what, I'm still like envisioning this goal in my head. He chests the ball down, takes on a defender running towards the touchline, flicks the ball back over his head to beat the defender, dribbles past 3 more defenders in the box, and powers a ball right past Christian Kalina. Puts us, pegs one back, 2-1 Charlotte. Like, filth. Like, if Reyna doesn't win, Robbie Taylor wins this month or this week's goal of the week.
Yeah, I mean, Reyna had 2. Like, I get that, and it was beautiful. But like, as far as individual performance, I mean, what Robbie Taylor did was nothing short of FIFA-esque kind of play that you would see. And one thing I wanted to touch on it, and we'll kind of talk about it at the end of this game recap here. It's expected goals in the first half are 0.75. Okay. Expected goals of Charlotte in the first half are 0.35, and they ended up scoring twice. But 0.75, recap that number in the finals. But yeah, I mean, 9 shots on goal, man. I mean, like, we were moving. I wanted to say that, didn't mean to interrupt. Keep going, buddy. Bring it on. Bring it on for goal number 2 to tie it up.
What I was gonna say is, at what point can we start calling him our Finnish Ronaldinho? Because his footwork is woo.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah. So goal number 2, the unlikely hero, Gonzalo, is found in the box. A beautiful ball from Gregory, and he one-times it right past Kalina. And it's kind of funny. Both goals were scored not in the exact same spot, but they were placed in the exact same spot. So it's almost like Inter Miami knew that was a weak spot for Kalina. They were both powered low and away into the same corner. Boom, just like that 2-2. And Drive Pink Stadium's rocking.
Yeah, and so Gonzalo gets subbed on in the 60th minute for Campana. They also bring in Indiana Bryce Duke for Indiana. So he comes on in the 60th minute. I can't remember when it was. It was maybe like the 65th, 66th minute or something like that. He had a goal that was called offsides. And it was like this, it was an identical goal. And then, don't want to spoil your recap of the third goal, but same shot, like same area. That was, you're 100% right. That was just must be. He's probably been practicing on those shots all week, because it was almost like 3 kind of identical shots. They were all done in their own separate, unique way. But as far as where the ball's getting released off the foot, it's kind of all very, very similar.
Yeah. So, we'll bring it home. Emerson, Gonzalo recycles the ball to Bryce Duke. Duke, again, I almost want to call it like it's Duke's trademark pass at this point. He finds Emerson streaking through the box past 2 defenders. Emerson takes a shot at Kalina, same exact spot. It hits his hands. The shot goes in the back of the net, and La Familia is erupting. That plays, I mean, I'll be honest, I was dancing in the living room, my big ass frame, dancing around in my own living room. Thought I was going to bring the house down around me. It was, I was happy for the kid.
Yeah, I've done a really good job about keeping my shirt on, but yeah, came off after that goal. That was insane hype, and some fans pointed out that he did nutmeg McCoon on that goal as well. When he shot it, went through Christian McCoon's legs, and do miss the T-Rex sometimes, but man, what a time. Now, here's a question, right? And just because kind of tongue in cheek, devil's advocate. It's good that Emerson gets his goal, right? He's been known to kind of take on the world, try to do way too much, kind of like a bull in a china shop. And then he kind of, has some issues passing after that moment or deciding what to do once he beats the first man and gets, on the wing or whatever. Is this, how do I phrase this? Is there any part of you that might be a little nervous that this goal might get to Emerson's head to encourage some more of the reckless nature, we'll say?
If it does encourage him to do this, he's gonna screw around and find out this coming weekend, because Callens is not gonna stand for it. Callens is gonna he's probably gonna let him get away with it once, if that, and then they're either gonna draw help to him, and it could be a lot of lost opportunities. So I'm going to say it's going to be good for him, but I also think it's going to be one of those things that we're going to have to watch Phil tweak and be like, no, calm down, lad. Like, you did it once. Let's dial it back. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it was, I'm happy. I know there's a lot of people that are happy. A lot of people really are high up on Emerson, but you could tell. And once he scored this goal, where does he go? He runs right over to the players that are still warming up, right to the bench. Good sign of, celebrating with the boys who, you've struggled with to get your first team. Go celebrate with them. Let them see that hard work can pay off, and you can get your results and get into to the first team. So, overall, just a hell of a night. Went home, just biggest smile. Woke up happy, man, and overall, just amazing feelings, man. Amazing feelings. I really want us to tighten up a little bit and score in the first half and try and kill off some games. But hey, man, what do you do? What do you do? Like, this is what sports is all about, man.
Yeah, and I will continue to say this for all the naysayers. This team last year would have lost it.
Yeah,
just gonna say it. That's it. Like, there would have been no fight. But hey, let's jump right into the stats. Talk about, wanting to kill it off. We had 15 shots and 7 on goal to their 4 shots and 3 on goal. We got to start converting some more of those. We really do. Like, there was a couple sitters where I was kind of hoping we would have put them in and maybe started the run a little bit earlier towards the final conclusion we ended up at. But hey, a win is a win, like you said. Passing 546 to 386 in favor of Inter Miami. Corners 7-4 in favor of us. Saves, Drake only had to make 1. Well, he only made 1, I should say. My fault. It is what it is. You can't have a clean sheet every night.
You can't be mad at him. Like, both goals, like, what do you do? Like, it's a 1-on-1 versus Jordi Reyna. Like, the dude can score. Then absolute curl of that. I feel like we are closet Bayern fans. But like, yeah, maybe Neuer saves that. Like, that's such a, I don't know if any MLS keeper's really going to get on that.
There's like maybe 5 keepers in the world that stop it. And I think we saw one of them this past match in our friendly. Yeah. So fouls 13-12 in favor of us. We got to keep that lead up. Damn Charlotte, though, they beat us in yellow cards 2-5, and there was no reds. So Jay, what are your positives and negatives for the match? What do you think, man?
So positive right here is, I mentioned in the first half our XG, our expected goals was 0.75. We finished this game with an XG of 2.24. That is quite high, especially for Inter Miami. Charlotte did improve, almost doubled theirs. They were about 0.35 and they were 0.77, man. Possession felt great. Passing felt great. The control of the game felt great. It's really reassuring. I think Pozuelo adds another level of calmness, someone that maybe some of the younger or people, some of the players that might feel pressure a little bit faster than some other players can get the ball to him. He's very creative. He can score, but really, I mean, I think he's going to be not necessarily from like the goals or the assists, but I just think he's really going to be the I don't know what's the word I'm looking for, like the glue of this team, the missing piece we needed, the engine to this vehicle we've been building that can really tie it all together. And I think that he's going to be our guy. And there's just so much that we can look forward to, and it just increases our hope so much. And that is just a phenomenal feeling. You know, it's been a lot of doom and gloom, but hey, I can't wait to see Coco Jean and just another weapon we have. And yeah, man, it's just another game where you feel good. What do you say?
I think the word you're looking for there was catalyst.
There we go.
He's going to be the catalyst. It's easy for me. Positives, Pozuelo. Like,
yeah.
I already said what I have to say. Robert Taylor, again, chef's kiss.
Yeah.
Beautiful goal. I'll take one of those all day long. Negatives. I will criticize the back line and Mota for falling asleep once or twice. Played some very undisciplined ball, especially when we were down. Is what it is. I'm actually also going to throw a negative on Kem Poppy. I know he's got a little bit of a niggle. I know he's not really moving his best. He didn't adapt his game to the flow that was being presented to him. He tried to continue doing his same thing in and out. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but you also have to be able to adapt to what the other team is throwing your way. They had him locked down for a little bit. Yeah, he came out wide a few times. He grabbed a few passes. And again, we know his right knee is bothering him. Is what it is. But, you know, if you're going to continue to be the talisman that this team requires, you're going to have to be able to adapt to be able to survive. As much as it pains my soul to say it, Gonzalo has adapted to survive, man. Like, it is what it is.
It wasn't the fastest adaptation,
no.
But Gonzalo is finally there. And you're right. But look, man, this team doesn't know when they're beat. They don't know when to quit. I'll say another positive here is we were able to formulate yet another comeback win. And Campana wasn't on the pitch this time. You know, he's usually been pretty integral in some of these comebacks, but yeah, I mean, I think it's good. I think Gonzalo is finally like warming up, and dude, if we can get 30 minutes out of Gonzalo in the end of a game against tired legs, like that's a very valuable weapon to have. And again, it's just another thing to look up to, man. Anything else to wrap that up, or should we proceed?
Let's go ahead and proceed right into the rankings.
No. We're going to have to do it, buddy. We're going to have to do it. We got to talk about Barcelona for a little bit.
No, see, listen, I was trying to skip right over that, man. Like, I didn't want to have to talk about the...
Don't let the toxic Miami fans ruin your day.
Now, listen, hey, when have I been the one that let the toxic Miami fans ruin my day? I'm usually the one trying to lift them back out of the doldrums, but I have to be fully transparent here. I did not watch it. I had prior engagement, so I'm going to leave this to you, Jay. Why don't you go ahead and tell us what you saw at the match?
Fair enough, man. Well, two things I hate in this world are number one, Barcelona, and number two, traffic. And buddy, he's had a whole night of both of those things. But all jokes aside, fun time. I mean, La Familia was rocking, man, to keep the boys, in good spirits throughout the game. Obviously, sold out game. Tons of Barcelona fans, tons and tons of Barcelona fans, but just, really cool. I mean, I kept joking, like saying, 3-2, like Inter Miami's going to win this. Like, I think everyone knew what was going to happen in this game. Everyone seems to be outraged that we would play Barcelona when, we're not in the playoffs or a crucial time, or it's demoralizing to the club or makes us look bad to South Florida. I've seen numerous stories of people that went to that Barcelona game and are already contacting, ticket reps. These are people that, brought their friends, and then those friends are reaching out to the ticket reps to get season tickets. I think it was a good thing. I don't think, like, no one got injured. Everyone got to play. So I don't really think anyone got that gas. Yeah. We got spun around a lot, but there were some really impressive goals. I mean, Aubameyang, Rafinha, like the Rafinha volley was dirty. Memphis Depay just spinning low around. I mean, like it's like the Yordi goal. There's just a lot of beautiful moments that you want to appreciate. And, you know, it was fun to see such an elite club. And, you know, I know you can make fun of Barcelona all you want for the hardships they've had or how they have no money yet keep signing all these players, whatever. But I mean, they still have so many players that are light years ahead of anyone in the MLS for sure. And I mean, take any one of their attackers really, and their contract deal is probably worth more than our entire payroll for Inter Miami. But I thought it was a pretty fun night. All in all, I mean, yeah, good goals and stuff like that. I think that there were some teaching moments, hopefully after the game, where, you know, some people got some critique or some areas they can improve upon. I know the players really enjoyed it. There was a lot of pictures, a lot of jersey exchanges, some really sweet moments. And I know you wanted to say something.
So I did want to point out for the fans that may not have paid attention, yes, they had all that attacking firepower on there without arguably their most dangerous weapon in Robert Lewandowski, who was in the city of Miami, but was not available to play. You know, Lewandowski definitely would have probably moved my plans around if I would have known he was playing. I am a diehard Lewandowski fan. I have his Bayern jersey hanging on my wall right next to CR7 and Lewis Morgan, the holy trinity in my mind. But, you know, it was kind of comical for me. I am one of the ones, I also hate Barcelona probably as much as you do. And I know I was joking in the Discord about seeing the jerseys later on and talking about Barcelona's financial struggles as being almost like microtransactions for the players. You want your name on the back of the jersey, it's going to be 75 Barca bucks, you know, and so on and so forth.
I did buy the scarf. What? I bought the scarf.
Well, I really wanted one of those sweet tickets that I saw online, but no one was able to snag me one. But I will say the major thing to take away from this match, at least that I wish folks online would realize, is this was huge for some of the things you already touched on. People contacting ticket reps, people getting ready to possibly look into coming to Drive Pink for more games. The just the financial windfall for a team that is, you know, in sanction mode right now, just trying to advance, survive. I don't know. It was good for the club all the way around, and I wish more people would see it like that.
It was a good business move. It was certainly a good business move. And I mean, you know, we kind of say we hate Barcelona, but we also respect Barcelona. I mean, right? They're one of the all-time, you know, greatest teams. They probably had the greatest team in football from 2008, 2012. It's just not, they're undeniable. Even in their hardships, they're still so talented. So chill out, everyone. It was a friendly, okay? Nothing horrible is going to happen here. We're going against NYCFC. Why not play against someone way out of their league as well? I think it's going to help everyone. It's going to help the younger guys get some experience, see the level they have to be at to play against a top European team, and hopefully that helps them out as they get more playing time. Last thing on this, a lot of like sports journalists or analysts were complaining about nepotism because Harvey Neville played and because Romeo Beckham played, and that's the coach's son and the owner's son. Like, who cares? Like, obviously you don't know anything about the organization as a whole. You don't know anything about Inter Miami CF2, because if you did, you'd realize that if anyone's going to be really coming off the IMCF2 to play, it's going to be those two. They've been playing quite well. Like, there's no nepotism here. We're just letting some of our younger kids get some experience that they're not going to get probably ever again in their life, and that's playing Barcelona. Anyway, let's carry on, buddy. Bring us to power rankings.
All right, power rankings. It was actually a decent week for us. We are up 3 spots from last week. We are up to 18th, and actually now 2 ahead of Charlotte, who's sitting in 20th. It's kind of odd seeing us beating somebody and jumping above and not having that team ranked in the top 10 after beating us. I don't know. MLS always has an agenda against us, it seems like, is what it is. Eastern Conference, we are now in 9th with 25 points. We are behind Charlotte, who is in 8th with 26th. Cincy, who is in 7th with 27. However, there are some games in hand. And we are ahead of New England in 10th with 25. We are ahead of them by 1 win in the win column, I do believe. Atlanta is in 11th with 24, and Chicago is in 12th with 23. That puts us to the Supporters Shield. We are in 20th. Yes, it is pretty much done and over for us with this, but we are still going to cover it because we love the pain. We are currently behind Houston in 19th, Vancouver, who is 18th, Charlotte, who is 17th, and we are ahead of New England, Atlanta, and Colorado, who are 21st, 22nd, and 23rd, respectively. Jay, what do you think with the rankings here? Do you think we've been accurately assessed after that Charlotte game, or do you think we should have been somewhere else?
I don't think the MLS or ESPN is going to rank us really favorable in like a last minute comeback win. I mean, we did dominate the game, but I mean, you've really got to, be running most of the games you play to get the respect here. So it doesn't surprise me. Like I've grown to not even like really think it's stupid. It is what it is, It's fine. I don't. Power rankings are fun and all, right? It's a fun little superlative. Like my focus is on the standings. I'm looking at where we are, what kind of games we're playing, the teams around us are playing that week as we try and claw our way back in above the playoff line. And I mean, it's starting to get that way, man. I mean, we're right on the outside, and what is this? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 to the 7 teams have a game in hand on us. So. Hey, buddy. And I mean, we'll say 5 out of 8 because we have to include Charlotte, who's right above us. We've got a game in hand on them. So I feel good about this, man. I mean, let's finish June, and then, we only have a few more months. Playoffs are going to be starting in October. So let's bring it home, man. Let's bring it home. But where are we in the Eastern Conference right now?
The Eastern Conference, as we stated previously, we are in 9th with 25. Again, that puts us 1 point behind Charlotte and 2 behind Cincy. So, I mean, it is what it is with that, man.
Yeah, but let's see. I don't know off the top of my head. I can't remember right now. So we're ending out July against Cincinnati. So if we can get a little Cincinnati plays Nashville on Saturday at 7:30. Nashville. Yeah. I mean, that's a little twin expansion right there. Pretty good squad. Let's hypothetically, if that's a draw or a loss, we're right in position to either tie or jump Cincinnati. So, hey, we'll take this all day. We will take this all day. And my favorite part, I think about all this is like, we're really not, 2 games, right? We need 6 points and we'd be ahead of Orlando. That's what I want. Making the playoffs is goal number 1. Goal number 2 is jumping Orlando City, even though we've already lost twice this season in the Open Cup and the first matchup of the season, or regular season rather. We're going to get them again towards the end of the season. So, man, how great would it be if you were like a point or 2 behind them when we play them? I think it's what month is that? I don't know. But how great would it be if when that happens, we beat them and we also jump them at Drive Pink, man?
I think that would just add one more dig to the rivalry. Like, could you imagine if that point or 3 points or whatever it is at the end of the season determined who was where, and all of a sudden we got a home game and they had to go on a road? Like,
yep.
Woo! That's what you live for in rivalries.
September 4th. That's the date. That's the date we got to look forward to. So let's finish July strong. Let's fight our way through August, which kind of gets a little easier, but not really. Fun 2 months for us, buddy. So who are we ahead of?
Right now we are ahead of New England, Atlanta, and Chicago. Again, it's going to be a tight race. If we drop any points, we're going to drop fast because New England has 25, Atlanta has 24, Chicago has 23. Obviously, assuming they all pick up points, it kind of goes back to the make or break. Like, hey, we need to continue to pile on the points because you have to imagine Atlanta's going to make some moves. Chicago is streaky at best. Selena in goal has been playing lights out. Their midfield, if Shaqiri's feeling healthy, he can make some attacking moves for Chicago. I don't know.
Who scares you the most out of those 3? Because, to be fair, like, we're not going to credit Toronto or DC, in the last spot. Toronto hasn't even won 1 away game. That's pretty crazy, at least this far in the season. But between New England, Atlanta, and Chicago, who are you most concerned with jumping us?
Without a doubt, New England. I have massive respect for Carlos Hill. I enjoy watching him play. I think I pointed out a couple episodes ago that I actually watched NYCFC play New England mainly because I wanted to watch Carlos Hill play, and there was nothing else on.
Yep. Fair enough.
He can turn a match just snap of fingers. Yep. So definitely would say that would be mine.
I will agree with that, sir. Now let's get into who we're playing next. We mentioned a little bit earlier. We're talking about NYCFC, reigning MLS Cup champions. This will be Tati Castellanos' last game in the MLS. He is going to Girona. I'm not really sure how to say it.
He is actually going to City and then being loaned out from City to Girona.
Yeah. Okay.
So he's staying within the City football group in some ass backwards way of getting around all of this.
Yeah.
It's
one of their 8 teams.
Yeah. I hate you, City. I hate you so much.
Yes, but if there's anything we hate more than Barcelona, it's the City football group.
Yeah. No.
So we weren't sure if he's going to play. I thought it was going to be more of the Buxa situation where he's just there on the sideline saying bye to everyone, but it sounds like he is going to play. I can't imagine they play him for, a full 90 minutes, maybe come on for, like the last second half sometime in there just so he can get an appearance. But I don't think you want to risk any, I don't even want to put that into the ethos of the world or the environment. Don't want to put any jinxes on anyone, but we don't want to see any sort of injury happening to Castellanos.
No, absolutely not. But to get into it, we are playing NYCFC in that ugly, dilapidated, run-down stadium that is meant for baseball, Yankee Stadium. It is a 7.
It's a very small field.
Yeah, it's hard to watch on TV, and I actually passed up on tickets to go see him there because it just doesn't look like there's any good spots to watch it from.
Well, like the angles of the cameras are strange. The field just seems very small, like not like indoor size, but it doesn't seem like a full size field. So, probably it's probably a higher intensity to play on like in that environment with a more compact field.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. It reminds me of some of the old school stadiums that have the running track around them.
Like the Olympic stadiums.
Yeah. But anyways, we are playing at 7 p.m. this Saturday. The history of the opponent, something new we're going to be adding to Inter Miami podcast to give you a little bit of extra, as we love to do. They were founded in 2013, played their inaugural season in 2015. The running joke is that they still do not have a stadium. They have played in Yankee Stadium, also have had to rent a stadium from their rival. Imagine us going up to Orlando and be like, oh, hey guys, can we rent a stadium? Because we can't build one, but we're Citigroup.
It would have to be Miami FC, I feel like.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, in terms of rivalry.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah.
No, whatever. But have all that money, but can't build their own stadium.
Hey, man, It's hard to find space in South Florida. It's even harder in New York City.
Yeah, I mean,
hence why Red Bulls play in New Jersey.
Yeah, no, I mean, and I cannot wait to go to that stadium. I just secured my tickets for that. Anyways, trophies won. Obviously, they won the 2021 MLS Championship and had that index card size banner to prove it. All-time series versus Inter Miami, they have won every time. In 4 games played, they have won all 4. Great.
So you're telling me there's a chance.
So they're telling me there's a chance.
Probability-wise, we got to get one in here.
I got to be honest, again, full transparency. Castellanos is captaining my fantasy team this week.
Wow.
Recent run of form.
What a scumbag.
Yeah. Well, we'll get into why here in a minute. I'll discuss it when we go into our other things we're watching on the MLS this week. Recent run of form, they are coming in hot. Like Michael Scott and Jan down on vacation. They are hot. 3 wins, 2 draws, and no losses. Players to watch. Again, Tati, unless you've been living under a rock and you don't appreciate quality of play, I mean, Tati's the man. He is. I hate to say it. One of my favorites, Alexander Collins and Alfredo Morales, are 3 players I think we need to watch coming up. Tati, probably to a lesser extent. How about yourself, Jay?
They have a whole army of Brazilians. I think they have like 7 regular people that play that are from Brazil. They also have Maxi Morales, who is like the wish version of Pirlo, if you will. They got a lot of hitters. Talis Magno looks to be the one who will be kind of the heir apparent to Tati's departure as far as being their striker kind of go-to weapon, but they'll probably bring in someone who's pretty filthy to back him up as well. Yeah, a lot of good players. I mean, Callan's an absolute stud. Got to shout out Sean Johnson. Nothing but respect for that dude as well. It's a tough squad, man. They're a very, very good squad.
So funny story, a little side note real quick. My coworker is actually one of Sean Johnson's ex-girlfriends.
Oh, there
so I have to hear about Sean Johnson all the time, and I'm like, can you pick anybody else? She's like, well, I didn't know him at the time. Anyways, a little side note there.
Yeah, but like, hey, I want, like, this is my dream of Inter Miami. Like they call them, like, I forgot, like the Brazilian Mafia. Like they have a tifo that said like Brazilian Mafia. They have a ton of them, and they're all skilled.
I mean, they call them the Brazilian Mafia, but I would also like to point out that they also call NYCFC the Pigeons.
Why?
So
just because there's a lot of pigeons in NYCFC?
Yes. Like I double checked myself before I put that in like my notes. Like they're called the Pigeons.
Oh no, I'm talking about the group of the 7 that they have. They refer to that group as a Brazilian.
And I understand that, but I'm also saying you can't be badass and call yourself the Brazilian Mafia if you're also being known as the Pigeons. It's like being the Hell's Angels, but then wearing Care Bears on your cutlets. Like I don't know. Like,
whoa! I will not have you malign the Care Bears. Okay, the Care Bears are the truth.
Okay, match predictions. Jay, what do you got for your predictions here?
Oh, I'm going 2-1.
Let's do a caveat. We're gonna say that Tati plays more than we both expect him to play. I think he gets a full 90 because he's staying within City Group.
I'm saying 2-1.
Okay, every time I give this scoreline or
sorry, let me clarify. 2-1 NYCFC.
Okay, I'm gonna go. See, every time I pick the scoreline, we seem to win with it. 3-1 NYCFC. Because I said 3-1. I want to say it was against Charlotte, and we won.
You said 3-1 against Philadelphia. I said 2-1. I was actually somewhat accurate in that. So a broken clock can't be right twice a day. But I do like your style. The 3-1. Let's just keep rolling it because there's a little luck to it, but it's also quite realistic. This could go 5-0. I don't know. No, that's rude. We're getting better. Pozuelo. I have a feeling that Gonzalo is going to be probably playing most of this game. We should note that Leo Campana does have a knee injury. We don't really fully know the extent of it. He wasn't a knee brace. Lassiter should be back. I would have to imagine Lassiter's close to returning, but he wasn't practicing, so I'm not sure what the deal is. It was about a week ago. I think it was the press conference before the Charlotte game, and Phil said he was about a week out. So maybe he comes on at the end, but again, he wasn't practicing, so take it for what it's worth.
I think, like I said, I heard Lassiter. Actually, I think he was training today, or at least he was really close. So
was he training with physios? Does that sound?
It's possible.
Yeah,
I think that's what it was. But I will say too, it depends on which NYCSC shows up, because we do need to remember that they were down 3-0 to Cincy at one point. And I mean, obviously they Cincy imploded, but I mean,
best game of the season though.
Yeah. So Jay, I got to ask you, one of the other things we want to put in there, kind of to give the listeners something else to look forward to each episode. What other games have caught your eye this week? What game are you looking at the most this weekend?
Obviously I'm going to be watching the Cincinnati Nashville. I mentioned that just because I want to keep my eye on Cincinnati as they're the next opponent, and I really want to get back up there. But like other things like the Columbus New England game, got to keep an eye on New England because they could very well jump us. Those are really what I'm looking at. And then just for like fun, just to throw it out there, I got to go LAFC Kansas City, because I would like to see Bell get a start or play more minutes just to see what that's like. They also got Mendez as well. Like they're just picking up good players left and right. So they're, I mean, this might be the year where they actually can go through and win the cup. That's probably the ones I've got my eye on. What are you thinking?
If I'm looking at the Saturday slate, I'm gonna keep my eye on Columbus because Columbus is playing like they're playing beautiful football, man. I mean, what was it? Hernandez has scored 4 goals in 90 total minutes played, and Zillaran is actually like starting to return to form. He looks damn impressive. I actually self-admittedly might watch the Union play against Orlando because I want them to smack Orlando around a little bit. But my game of the week has got to be, I mean, it's easy for me. It's number 2 in the West, Austin versus number 4 in the East, New York Red Bulls. If you're looking for a game just to watch for the pure enjoyment of the sport, that is the game. Yeah. Austin plays open, beautiful, free-flowing football. New York can too. I know they haven't put up a good showing against us this season when we were down at Drive Pink, but when they're on their A game, Red Bull, they're fun to watch, man. They fly. They fly up the field. They play some really gorgeous football.
Plus, we both love Lewis Morgan. That will be a really good game as well. I agree. And you already said it. I didn't want to interject on you, but yeah, like this is gonna be an open game. This is gonna be a fast, wild game, I think. Yeah. And what else are you doing on a Sunday? You already watched the Inter game. What else are you doing on a Sunday? Watch that. Cook out. Barbecue some stuff. Spend some time with friends and families.
Now, I will say I'm also going to be a little, I want to say a little selfish. I hope the Red Bulls don't play everybody a full game against Austin because we need to keep in mind that we need Lewis, our savior, to knock Orlando out of the Open Cup, which is coming up on the 27th. So I will be keeping my eye on that just for those reasons as well, to be honest, as well as Nashville versus Cincy, which you already touched on. But keeping it within the MLS, is there anything that was, noteworthy from across the league for this week besides obviously Tati going off to Manchester City, aka going off to Girona?
Yeah, something that really stuck out for me is that Nashville just solidifying that defense. I mean, like now that they've got the attack in place as well, but they did get U.S. men's national team defender Shaq Moore, so he's going to transfer over to Nashville. And then, also coming in Toronto, just with their Italian revolution over there, Bernardeschi did officially sign. So those are the two that I think really caught my eye. What was catching yours?
I mean, like you said, Bernardeschi signing for Toronto. I actually watched him coming in. The fans were ecstatic for him. Twitter was blowing up about it, and it's I don't know. It's good for Toronto because it's good for the league. Yeah. I would put it like that. I'm. As much as it still pains me that Italy beat England in the last major tournament, I'm happy to see all the Italians who arguably played some of the best football years in, years out coming over to the MLS. So the fans who might not enjoy the international game like you and myself do are able to see them and see not 100% of their talent, because not all of them are in their prime still, but at least get to see them play some style of game. Like I would still go see LAFC come into town with Gareth Bale because I would like to say I saw Gareth Bale play. It's something like that. So that's definitely a big signing for the league, and one that kind of, I don't know, he's definitely been one of the players I've liked to watch this season because he's magical with the ball when he's on point. Reynoso went down with an injury in a friendly, which brings up the old argument that you don't want to continue to play your stars or your important role pieces a lot during a friendly match.
That's El Rey, man. That's the king.
Yeah, I mean, he's been playing lights out this season. Gotta be honest, I thought they would have pulled him earlier out of that match, and about 5 minutes after me saying that, he goes down. The extent of the injury is not known at this point. I did start him this week in fantasy because he's still green lit, as much as that does not mean anything in the MLS fantasy website there.
Yeah.
The other thing I did notice is that Milhajovic from Montreal, he did start opening up about transfer aspirations, as well as possibly wanting to get up for the U.S. men's national team. If you haven't watched him play again, I know it sounds like we're just raving about midfielders this episode between Zillaran, Lewis, Reynoso, Mihajlovic, but
Georgie's a stud too.
Yeah, I mean they're some of the best. Pozuelo, we got to put him in there as well. They're some of the best at what they do. So if you need to, go YouTube them if you don't know them, because they're fantastic players all the way around. There was not a lot of news for our club this week because the academies have wound down. Inter Miami FC 2 did not play, but Higuain and Gregory did make team of the week for their performance against Charlotte. Well deserved, boys. Good on you.
There we go.
I am so glad you brought that back, and there's no sarcasm there. It's definitely
that was quiet. That was a quiet one.
Yeah,
I don't want to scare anybody.
Well, I'm gonna be honest. I even started pulling my headphones away because I did not know how loud that was gonna be. So, but again, they did well. We've been very critical of Gonzalo in the past. It is no secret, but it's good to see him up to the task when we need it.
Everybody thought I was crazy. Everyone thought I was crazy. All right. And that Philadelphia game, we did not want to score. And then Gonzalo came on and scored. They thought it was crazy the Charlotte game. I was calling for Gonzalo to be subbed on early. Like, no. Then they did. I cheered. They're like, what are you doing? He scores, gets called back. They're like, all right, never mind. My bad. Then he scores again. It counts. And everyone understood. Yes. Good on you, Gonzalo. Good on you.
I still don't like how ESPN FC put up on their Instagram a couple games ago, Gonzalo still got it. I want to be like, have you not seen him over the past 2 years? It's not Gonzalo of old. It is not the king of Napoli.
Well, we got some vintage Gonzalo.
We did
on both the Philadelphia game and the Charlotte game. Those goals were beautiful. Bring us home. The one, the only. Pay to subscribe. We still give it to you for free. We're talking OnlyThans.
All right, so one of the questions that came out of our Discord group, and if you are not a part of our Discord group, we have the links in all of our social media bios. If you cannot find it, DM one of us, and we will get it for you. Jay, with all these European clubs coming to the U.S. this week, who on our squad, outside of Kempapi, do you think has the most potential to play meaningful, underlined meaningful European football?
I'm going to go Pozuelo. He already has, right? Maybe Drake. I don't know. He's one of the best keepers in the league. Let's go with something exciting here. I'm going to say Bryce Duke. Not now. Bryce Duke, maybe in 5 years. I think he's got potential to really develop into something special. He's got to clean up in some areas. And, I can see small glimpses. I don't want to hype it up too much, but I can see small glimpses where Emerson could have that winger ability. Maybe not, in the EPL, but probably in Ligue 1 or, maybe Serie A if he can get the rest of his game together. I'd say he's probably my long shot. I think Bryce Duke, Pozuelo, I can't really say that because he already has done it, but I'm going to go with Bryce Duke. What would you say?
I'm going to swing back to my boy on this one. I got to go Noah Allen. I know he's mainly down with Inter Miami FC 2, but I think he has the best shot at getting out and going over to Europe at some point in a left back or in any of the back spots. He is the archetype right now of the back to winger position. And I think if he gets some time to grow, he could really do it. I could also see, I wanted to agree with you on Bryce Duke, give him a couple more years. He's already showing the intellect to be able to pick out the passes that are critical in European style football. He reminds me if he can get a little more, size onto his frame, he could be one of those pinball, quick speedster EPL midfielders.
Yeah.
Which would, definitely work out in his favor. And, I'd be happy for him. He deserves it. I'm definitely glad we picked him up this season, and just another Chris Hendo masterclass with that signing right there.
Yeah, if we're gonna go to the IMCF2 squad, I'm gonna go ahead and say Romeo Beckham solely because he's a Beckham. Not really too much data behind that.
No, I know, but the question was meaningful European football.
He's a Beckham. That's my case.
Okay, but there was Michael Jordan, and then there was the other two that everybody always forget about because one played for UCF, one played for Illinois, and they didn't amount to jack diddly shit when it came to basketball. So
he's a Beckham.
Okay, whatever.
He is a
Fine.
Beckham. He's 19 years old. Okay, he's got plenty of time.
Agree to disagree. Anyways, I got to be honest, that was the only one we had for this week. Short week. We also got this out a little bit late. Shame on me for not having more for you. But I got to ask you a question, though, Jay. Is there anything that you might want to hype up that we may or may not have released over the past couple days?
Sure, buddy boy. Well, I mean, due to, some questions that I've received throughout the season at the stadium and that we've received on various social media outlets and on the Discord as well, we decided, just kind of fan popular demand here, to do a second run of the Supremely Inter kits. And these are the pink and the white ones that we released at the beginning of the season. People wanted to get additionals. This was kind of just an early release we did with few people on social media and people in the Discord. We're doing another run right here. So a lot of people have reached out, wanted to get that done. In addition to that, we, full disclosure, I had some black stuff with the pink Supreme kit over it made that, a few of the actual pot squad got. They looked filthy. Johnny's rocked them to the stadium. People have seen them. Dan loves this print. He loves this color combo. I know he's wanted this. Some other fans asked about it. So yes, we are releasing a special edition called our third kit. Call it our alternate kit. It is going to be the black Supremely Inter jersey. It's going to be a black jersey with that, that completely unique to the Inter Miami podcast, that print we put over it. We're not ripping off any famous designers in France. This is all just, we made it. We're not ripping off anyone, but you're going to get that black kit with the pink Louis kind of print over it. So that's on social media. Check it out. DM us if you want one. We are currently taking orders. Probably going to leave it open, I would imagine, till the end of the month. I need to catch up with some Inter Miami employees that expressed interest in getting another one. And so if you want that, check them out. Let us know if you want the white one, the pink one, or the black one. They're all fire. They're all fresh, and they all fit so well.
How much is it going to run the average individual for one of these beautiful works of art, Jay?
It is $40 US per jersey. So whichever one you want, doesn't matter what color, all the same price. Just reach out to us. We'll get everything handled, and then I'll be passing these things out at the stadium to whoever wants them.
And I got to be honest, it's easy for me to say that I would rather have one of these, but in terms of comfort level, when I've been at a game, I didn't feel overly hot when I was at the stadium in the pink one. Even on a cool night out in Philly where we were watching the boys play, I wasn't uncomfortable. It felt overall just the fabric was amazing. It was extremely breathable. And let's be honest, you can buy one official kit for $150, or you can buy all three for $120.
Ooh, that's simple math right there. No, they are nice. I mean, it's nice fiber. It's moisture wicking. It keeps you cool. It keeps you cool in multiple ways, temperature wise and just swag drip wise. Come rock them if you want them.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, if you guys want one, please DM us right at the Inter Miami podcast Instagram page. If you want, I've also shared it on my personal one at Thanicus Maximus. Go ahead and hit us up. I will get you on the sheet. We will get it ordered, and we will get you in the most fire fan-made jersey of the league. To end it out, we always want to appreciate you joining the latest damn it. There, right again. We appreciate you taking the time to join us on this latest episode of the Inter Miami podcast. We want to shout out to La Familia for being the best to do it in the MLS. There are none that rival you. You guys are the lifeblood of the squad. You can find us on Twitter at InterMIA Podcast and on Instagram at InterMiami Podcast. Make sure you also join up with our awesome Discord community. We have a great group of supporters who offer up the latest shenanigans and tomfoolery daily.
And as we like to end every episode, I'm not editing it out, by the way. Vamos, Miami.
I can't stand you, but vamos, Miami.